Welcome to this week's Bible Topics discussion. We're glad to have you with us today as we discuss what the Bible says about how we should speak.
Jesus had some choice words of instruction on how we should speak. In Matthew chapter 15, verses 18 through 20b, he said, "But the things that come out of a person's mouth come from the heart, and these defile them. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, slander. These are what defile a person." Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." Luke chapter 6, verse 45 says, "A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of." Think of the times we've seen and heard coarse language on TV shows, news, and sporting events. There seems to be no end. This is very displeasing to Jesus. What is also displeasing to him is the times we tune into shows where we know we're going to hear that kind of talk. We have the choice to watch it or not.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10 says, "For whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceitful speech." Proverbs chapter 21, verse 23 says, "Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity." How many times have we seen people, maybe at a restaurant or somewhere else in public, or maybe on the news, they're just spouting off a chain of bad talk. And then we've seen them get into a fight and get hurt, or maybe the police show up and arrest them. I would say those are calamities brought on by the person's tongue.
On the other hand, Proverbs chapter 15, verse 4 is an example of how the tongue can be a calming force. It says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." Here's another example of a soothing tongue. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18 says, "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." Haven't we all known times when maybe there was a conversation going on that began to get heated and someone came along with a soothing tongue and put out the fire?
We all know people who have a quick tongue or a sharp tongue, and they just can't seem to get a handle on it. Well, there are verses for that too. God provides for everything, doesn't he? One of those verses is Psalm 141, verse 3, which says, "Set a guard over my mouth, Lord. Keep watch over the door of my lips." Psalm chapter 139, verses 23 through 24 says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts." It's our anxious thoughts that sometimes set our tongue on fire and we spout off. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 3 says, "Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin." We should check our lips, think about what we're about to say, and decide whether we should say it or not. We want to live lives pleasing to God. If we have trouble in the area of our tongue, let's ask God to help us.
Well, that's it for this week. Please like, comment, and share, and let us know if you have questions. We'd love to know if there's something we might be able to help you with.
See you next week. Be blessed.